Let's talk about the different field types that you have within your system. After navigating to your field editor, we're going to then locate a field section that we want to add a field to. Here I've got my critical details. On the right-hand side, we've got add field. We'll go ahead and select add field. Once we've selected that, we're going to see the field section that we're adding this field to. We'll be able to add in a field label, add in our merge field. If we need placeholder text, we can have that in there. And then we'll be selecting our field type. Here underneath field type, if I select this dropdown, we're going to see a set number of field types here. We've got text. This is really helpful if you guys have it that you need to enter in a line or two of information. Text area is helpful for if you need to add in a paragraph of information. Decimal, currency, or percentage, this is going to help out with tracking dollar amounts or percentages. Our date is going to be our date. Number is going to help power those dates and give you more control over how dates are scheduled. And our choice field can be used in many different ways. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ways that I have a choice field built out here. I'll go ahead and scroll down until I get to my property details. Here I've got a contract client type. When I select that particular field, it's going to open up this left-hand side and this right-hand side page. If I scroll down, here you can see that this field is a choice field. We've got these different options here: buyer, seller, dual, tenant, landlord, that we can select from. This is also a field that cannot be altered or deleted from your account. We need to know which one of these need to be selected to continue to power your system. We can update the field label if needed. If the field label needs to be updated, we would want to update it and select I understand and update. After updating, it's going to close out that field. Another example of a choice field would be property type. If I select property type here, you can see, once again, we see the field section, we see the label. Now you can see that we can edit that merge field if needed. We can also update some of the settings when it comes to how it appears on that intake form. If I scroll down to the bottom, we'll see that this is also a choice field. On the left-hand side, we can see our choices. We've got single-family residential, condo, townhouse, multifamily dwelling, new construction, and vacant land. I can either update the language if I need to and say update, or I can add in new options if I need more options. I'll go ahead and say close out of there, continue scrolling down. I have a couple other field types that I use for choice fields. For example, we've got financing type. This would be a choice field where we can select different types of options here. We've also got different statuses that we might have as well. For example, buyer's response to the repairs. If we click on that particular choice field, we can see here that we've got an option where they say that they accept it as is, they ask for repairs, they ask for a credit, or if the buyer canceled. Your choice fields are going to really help you power the different parts of your system, as well as making sure that we have different conditional logic to be able to use for your smart blocks, for your email templates, and for your conditional logic. As I mentioned before, we also have due dates that can be powered by days fields. For example, in my HOA, I have a due date. This is just going to be that standard date that's due. And then I have a due days field that's associated with it. My due days field can be used to power that due date for HOA. For example, in your guys' contracts, it might say something like the HOA documents are due within 14 days. To make it easier for you, instead of you having to calculate that date, you can use the days field to say, well, it's 14 days. You can use your date templates to calculate that due date for HOA.